Hello everybody, Connor here, and welcome back to another episode of Gaming Retrospective. The new Super Mario Bros. Series are some of the most popular Nintendo games of all time. They helped revive the 2D Mario series on handhelds and home consoles. The first game in the series, New Super Mario Bros., released on the DS in 2006 and was massively successful. Due to that success, Nintendo knew they needed to release a follow-up for the Nintendo Wii. After developing the original game for the DS, Miyamoto felt like it was not as challenging as he had hoped, and he decided that he would develop this entry with the benefit of all skill levels in mind. He wanted to provide a challenge to players who desired one and would add options to make the game more accessible to unfamiliar players. New Super Mario Bros. Wii was announced at E3 2009, just 3 years after the release of the previous entry. Unlike the version on the DS, this one showcased the ability to play through the game with up to 4 players. This was a first for the series. Previous entries had multiplayer, but it only allowed for the second player to play once the first player dies. This one allowed for all 4 players to play simultaneously with each other. Cooperative multiplayer was always something Miyamoto had in mind for the Mario series ever since the beginning. It was originally going to be implemented with Super Mario 64, but was scrapped due to hardware limitations. Luckily, the Wii was powerful enough to handle co-op. You have a total of 4 characters to choose from. You got the classic duo Mario and Luigi, as well as another iconic duo, Yellow and Blue Toad. I'm not too sure why the latter two aren't more interesting. I mean, Super Mario Bros. 2 had Peach as a playable character, and even Super Mario 64 DS had Wario and Yoshi as playable characters. New Super Mario Bros. Wii was released in North America on November 15, 2009, and on November 20th in Japan. The game came in a red case compared to the normal white cases that the Wii had, which I thought was cool. This later became a trend on the Wii U, where Mario games would get a red case compared to the normal blue ones. New Super Mario Bros. Wii starts off like any other normal Mario game, with a comically large cake. One thing that makes this game different from the rest is that the 7 Koopalings make their appearance. Before this, their last appearance was Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga on the GBA, and before that was Super Mario World for the SNES in 1991. It was cool to see them make a return and get a fresh redesign after not appearing in years, but now it just feels like Nintendo brings them back whenever they need a group of villains. Due to the game having simultaneous multiplayer, the levels now play more vertically and are much larger. The camera's more zoomed out too, making it easy to see your surroundings and not feel overly crowded with 4 players on screen. The game also just looks better overall. Obviously, having the game on a home console being played on a TV just allows for the game to look so much smoother compared to the handheld. The controls are basically the same as any 2D Mario game, but you're able to play with the Wii Remote sideways or Wii Remote and Nunchuck. One new addition is that Mario can now do a spin jump when you shake the Wii Remote. I never really cared for the motion controls, they just feel gimmicky and get old after a while. The new power-ups introduced in this game are leagues better than the ones introduced on the DS. You got the propeller mushroom, which allows you to fly through the air when shaking the Wii Remote and allows you to spin downwards like a drill to attack enemies. This was always my favorite item to use. It's not anything crazy, but it's a lot of fun to use, especially in multiplayer. Another new addition is the Ice Flower. This was also an item featured in Super Mario Galaxy, but in this game it works like the Fire Flower, but instead of defeating enemies right away, you freeze them with an ice block and can defeat them by breaking the ice. The Penguin Suit is the last item introduced, and it's a mix of the blue shell from the DS game and the Ice Flower. It's way easier to control than the blue shell and allows Mario to shoot ice balls just like the Ice Flower, which makes me wonder why they're both included in this game. The Penguin Suit also allows Mario to swim easier, which makes it one of the best items in the game. The Mini Mushroom also returns from the DS game and acts the exact same way as it did before. Yoshi also makes an appearance in this game, which is cool. He acts similarly to how he played in Super Mario World. New Super Mario Bros. Wii plays very similar to its DS counterpart. There's 8 worlds that contain 8 to 10 levels each. The star coins make their return as well, and they can be used to unlock a secret 9th world. The first world in the game is Princess Peach's Kingdom, which is a grassland world similar to pretty much every other World 1 in the Mario series. You face off against Larry in this world. World 2 is desert themed and is similar to the desert land in Super Mario Bros. 3. The boss for this world is Roy. World 3 is winter themed, similar to World 5 in New Super Mario Bros. DS. The first ghost house is in this world, and you battle Lemmy in this world. World 4 is beach themed, and Wendy is the boss for the world. It also features the first airship battle with Bowser Jr. World 5 is jungle themed, and the boss for this world is Iggy. World 6 is Rockin' Mountain themed, and the boss for this world is Morton. You also experience a rematch against Bowser Jr. at the end of the world. World 7 is sky themed and takes place in the clouds. You battle against Ludwig in this world. World 8 is lava themed and is pretty much your standard final world in any Mario game. There's a total of 3 bosses in this world. You got Magic Koopa in the tower, Bowser Jr. in the airship, and Bowser in his castle. World 9 is the last world in the game, and each level is unlocked by collecting all the star coins in a world. Besides the main story mode, New Super Mario Bros. Wii has some bonus multiplayer challenges. There's a free-for-all mode where players compete for a high score, and a coin battle mode where you compete for the most coins collected. These modes are a lot of fun and a lot less chaotic than playing through the story mode with 4 players. New Super Mario Bros. Wii is a solid installment to the New Super Mario Bros. Series. It's still very similar to the DS version of the game, which isn't a bad thing, but they could have made the game a little bit more original with the world design since it pretty much shares the same world concepts to a T. It's still a great game and does exactly what it sought out to be. It's a new Super Mario game for the Wii. It was the first home console 2D Mario game since Super Mario World in 1990, and it brought back Yoshi, the Koopalings, and a bunch of new items. And it was the first game in the series to have simultaneous multiplayer. Let's just hope the other entries after this one make many improvements to this formula and continue to innovate the new Super Mario Bros. Series. Spoiler alert, they don't.